first, it was rough going for Sakura and Ino on their rounds in the village. To begin with, Nakano's shrine was on the outskirts, in a place where there weren't too many houses. On top of that, the period immediately after the Great War itself was a stumbling block. It had already been more than 2 years since the end of the war. People's memories were fading. It took 3 days of asking around near the shrine before they heard anything useful from anyone. The Anbu? Oh, I saw them. The anyone in question, Rock Lee, told them. There were about 3 of them, I guess. When was that? Sakura asked. It was a little over 2 years ago, Lee replied. I sometimes come to this area on my runs. That's actually why I'm here today. After all, normally, there aren't very many people around here, you see. Which is why I remember seeing the Anbu that day. Although, well, you see, the Anbu popping up anywhere depending what sort of mission they're on. I didn't think it was particularly suspicious. Sakura and Ino glanced at each other and nodded. What are you investigating? If you like, I could be your superpower, Lee said, but Sakura and Ino gently dodged this. If something comes up, we'll call you. Like Naruto, Lee had a tendency to just charge in. Sakura thought he wasn't particularly suited to the evidence-gathering sort of work she and Ino were doing. In the evening, they met with Sai and reported the results of the day's investigations. On her way home, Sakura's feet were light. They had gotten results that day, however modest. If they circled in on Kido bit by bit, they could help Sasuke. That thought renewed Sakura's determination. I told you to let go. The sudden angry roar stopped her in her tracks. It had come from a side street near her house. She peered into the alley. It was already night, but the street lamps penetrated the dark, however faintly, so the road ahead of her wasn't pitch black. Several men were pressing another man down onto the ground. The men doing the pressing all wore Anbu masks. Look, let me go. Quiet, you're suspected of terrorism. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. Of the quarreling voices, the one coming from the man on the ground was familiar to Sakura. Sasuke? She cried out. Sakura! The man on the ground lifted his face. It was indeed Sasuke. Tell them, I came back to the village and suddenly they attacked me. They're saying I killed some terrorists or something. Please let him go, Sakura thought, swallowed the words before they had a chance to leave her mouth. Wait, are you really Sasuke? She asked in all seriousness. She'd been thinking and working all this time on the idea of the fake Sasuke. She was bound to become paranoid. And now you're asking me stuff like that? He let out a short sigh. Did you forget your old classmate's face? Look at me, he said briefly, and let the silence speak. Reflexively, she returned his gaze, and in that moment, her vision blurred and smeared. Genjutsu! She couldn't stay on her feet, but the genjutsu wasn't that strong. She quickly quelled the disturbance in her chakra and regained her steady posture. And then she felt a presence behind her. Before she could turn around, she felt a stinging sensation on the back of her neck. She felt some kind of drug being injected into her veins. The strength left her knees and she collapsed face down on the ground.